So after I've tuned up, first thing I like to do is just do some scalar activity with my right hand digits. A lot of times I'll do simple alternation. So some of the basic alternations we would have, these are rest strokes. That would be I am with rest stroke, or MA, or IA. I don't typically use alternations or do much with my pinky in terms of classical guitar strokes, but you could do combine. You could add that in there if you want to use your pinky, but I think I'm usually fine with just I am A, and then warming up my thumb as well. So anyway, back to the alternations that we were talking about. So for scalar activities, those basic alternations, and then this one. And the alternation I use a lot is sort of a hybrid that goes back and forth like this. That way I'm exercising my I am and the A fingers. So I am A am, I am A am, back and forth. So that's what I'm going to do right now. That's the alternation I'm going to choose right now. I'm going to do just a digital pattern, walking up chromatically from the 1st fret to the 4th fret, like that. So, and of course on this hand I'm doing that alternation I just explained. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to do that across the strings. So that's 5th string, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. When I get to the 1st, I'm going to shift up 1 position. Now I'm in the 2nd position. Bring that digital pattern back down towards the 6th string. Get in the 6th string, shift up 1 more position. So I think you can see what I'm doing there. I will continue this until I get up to the highest comfortable position. So there's the 9th, 10th position, I said 9th and 10th. That was actually 7th and 8th. That was 9th and 10th right there. So I'm stopping at the 9th position because when I'm at the 9th position, the edge of my hand runs into the upper bout of the guitar. So if we're talking about positions higher than that, that's sort of a different technique you'd have to play around with and explore. So anyway, that's the first thing I do. And then the second thing, using the same alternation with these fingers, is a diminished chord that goes like this. So it's a pattern that I start in 1st position on the 4th string, 1st fret, then 4th string, 4th fret, 3rd string, 2nd fret, 1st fret on the 2nd string, 4th fret on the 2nd string, 2nd fret on the 1st string. So 1, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, like that. All right, so that's my diminished pattern. I will take it ascending, slide up, descending, slide up. So that's how the pattern is going to work. I'll take that all the way from the 1st position to the 9th position and then bring it back down. And I'm going to use this alternation all the way through. Okay, the first time I do this, I'm going to do it with a legato articulation, which means that everything's going to be as smooth and connected as I can get it. So that's my chord. Now I've gotten to the 9th position, shift it back, down. So that's with a legato articulation. Now I'm going to mix up articulations. Maybe I'll play ascending through the scale with a staccato, and then descending with legato. So let me show you that. So staccato ascending, legato descending. Okay, now I'm going to reverse it. So legato ascending, staccato descending. Like that. Okay, now this round, it will all be staccato. All right, so now that I've done that, I might run through a couple of scales. I'm just going to do this with this alternation in a couple of different ways and not explain it too much right now, but we can come back to a different video. I'm going to do just the four forms of the major scale that I'm pretty familiar with and I find myself using all the time. I'm going to do this up at the fourth position. So this is A major through 2 octaves. And then we'll do B major through 2 octaves as well. Whoops. There we go. Okay, I did that one with a stretch finger. I'm going to do the same scale with a squeeze shift fingering now. Like that. Okay, and then I will do, this would be in this case E major. With that particular scale, you have a 1 octave complete scale in that form in the middle, then it goes up to the 5th on top and down to the 3rd below, so that's pretty useful. And then this one, starting with the 2nd finger, this is in this case D major. Okay, and then I could do D major with a shift, going from this scale form to this one. So that's a good, and there's lots of other things we could do, but just for those scales, that's good for now. And then the next thing is really a workout for the left hand. So the next thing is slurs. And what I do is I'll do the pairs, the 2-finger pairs in this sequence. So, and I adopted this from a book called Pumping Nylon by Scott Tennant, which is kind of the Bible of technique for guitar. Is a great book. So anyway, these two, these two, these two, then these two, then these two, then these two. So in other words, 1 and 2, then 2 and 3, then 3 and 4, then 2 and 4, then 1 and 4, and then 1 and 3. I can't do that one. It's hard because the ring finger doesn't have as much mobility. Anyway, so I'm just going to go through these and I'll explain while I'm playing them. So 1, 2, in hammer-ons or ascending legato, all the way across and all the way back. 2, 3, 3, 4, 2, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, then do descending slurs with the same sequence, same order. 2, 1, 4-2, 4-1, 3-1. Okay, then finally the last one, which is the hardest slur exercise, would be combinations where we do that on one string and then do the opposite, the mirror image of that on the next string. So that looks like this. So if you can do that all the way through, and like I almost did without making any errors and keep a consistent tempo, then that's a really good workout for the left hand. Okay, then finally the last thing I would concentrate on. So what we've gone through are two of the three basic aspects of guitar technique that we all think about. The first is scale technique and coordination of strokes between the right and left hand in single note patterns. And then there's slurs. And then finally the last is arpeggios, which is involving the coordination of the fingers on the plucking hand across the string. So usually what I do for this as a warm-up, I might try some rasguados and different strumming. This is one thing that the uke has taught me, especially in ukulele. It's all about the rasguado and the flexibility of the right hand. Anyway, I digress there. So usually what I'll do is I'll do an arpeggio study that I'm familiar with. A couple favorites are the Brouwer Etude 6, which I think everybody knows. That one. I like to do the Carcassi 3. Or the Villalobos Etude 1 is a favorite because that really exercises P, I, M, and A. So this. I think I'm just going to play through this one right now. Just going through this exercise is kind of a indication of how tight I am. All right, well, that wasn't a performance to like particularly write home about, but that's good to get everything kind of limber and kind of loose. So it's at this point, if you've gone through those muscular exercises, and I've been talking a lot, trying to explain things, usually when I play like a warm-up routine like that, that might take me 10 minutes to do, rather than the 20 that we have on the video, because I wouldn't be explaining everything. But then after that, go into whatever my regular practice might be, and I feel kind of a little better to go after that. All right, so in the spirit of Pomodoro, I'm going to stop right there, but rest assured that when I practice, that routine would be just like to get me started. So